In our first review, we filmed the PetSmart pet feeder with a phone attached to a chair. It worked, but only just. So, for review number 2, we're reviewing the Hohem iSteady X3 SE Plus gimbal to see if it can make filming easier and less dependent on furniture. With the box safely in hand, I was able to open it and see what was inside. My first impression of the gimbal itself was that it was solid and more compact than I had expected. Then there was a small folding tripod for the base, followed by a power cable, and, for reasons not yet known, an Allen key. This was all followed by a handy little carry bag. Although I didn't yet know how to use it, my first impressions of the gimbal were good. It was sturdy. The opening and closing seemed solid, and it had an overall feeling of quality about it. Although I was yet to get to the point of attaching a phone, opening the gimbal again, I could begin to get a feel for what it might be like in real use. Happy with my first impressions and the general feel of it, it was then time to check out the buttons. The front trigger was well positioned for my forefinger, and my thumb was able to access all of the buttons on the removable remote control. Next, I extended the telescopic arm, and again I was pleased that this mechanism felt robust. The small tripod base folds away when not in use, and has a commonly used 1/4-inch screw to attach it to the gimbal. This is good because if I felt a larger base was required in future for more stability, it was likely I would be able to source a replacement to fit. With the tripod base firmly attached, I could extend the gimbal to its full height. Here I've placed a mug next to it to give a sense of scale, and that's another cameo for Misty. Looking more closely at the buttons, we have a power switch on one side, a zoom wheel on the other, a trigger switch on the front, and a power port. Then, of course, there's the detachable remote control, which has a joystick, a mode button, a record button, and 2 scroll buttons on the left. But before being able to utilise any of these controls, we first needed to download the app. Connecting it was straightforward. We downloaded the Hohem Joy app, enabled Bluetooth, and selected the gimbal from the available devices. The app includes its own camera controls, tutorials, and additional tools, and the initial connection caused us no particular difficulty. With the app downloaded and the phone connected to the gimbal, we were quickly ready to fit our phone into the clamp and power everything on. I felt there was just the right amount of tension on the clamp to allow my phone to slip in without too much trouble, yet with a strong enough grip to leave me feeling confident that it wasn't going to slip out. Powering on brought the phone up into portrait mode, and then it was time to calibrate. 5 short presses set the calibration going, and a few seconds later it was done. With the remote control detached, I was able to demonstrate both the pan and the tilt functions of the device, with my thumb on the joystick moving it smoothly from left to right and then down and up. A quick double press on the side button brought everything back to the starting position. Another handy function, which took me a while to find, is a quick double press of the mode button rotates the phone between portrait and landscape mode. When you're done using the stand for your static shots, the remote control fits neatly back in the handle and feels secure enough that you won't worry about it falling out. We bought this gimbal for steadier tabletop filming without the chair clamp and smoother moving shots for future reviews. To test the moving part, we followed our least predictable subjects, the pets. Unfortunately, Star was intrigued by the camera and just ended up following me. Tula seemed a bit bemused by the whole thing. And Misty? Well, she was just Misty. With the animals refusing to cooperate, I moved on to something more reliable, the plants. Side by side, the gimbal footage is noticeably smoother, which is just the result I hoped for. And to be honest, I struggled to find much wrong with this product, other than the fact that the instructions cover the basic setup, but they're a little light on practical guidance for actually filming. As a complete beginner, I found I still needed to go online to understand which modes worked best for different types of shots. What I particularly liked was the tripod base, the firm clamping mechanism for the phone, the ability to control the gimbal remotely, and the telescopic arm, although I still don't have a clue what the Allen key is for. For us, the Hohem has solved the problem we bought it for. It's compact, comfortable to use, and produces noticeably smoother moving shots than holding the phone by hand. The instructions could do more to help a complete beginner, but once it's set up, the gimbal's a lot less intimidating than it appears.